Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca. This is Becca's Bookshelf, and I apologize for being gone for so long. I have finished college officially. I am going to be a graduate. I'm so excited, but it has been the most hectic month. I had like 18 to 25 things due in like every class, so... But it doesn't matter anymore because I am done and I am back, and hopefully we'll be making videos more and more frequently since I have more free time, and though I do have to get a job like, you know, an adult, which none of us want to be, so. You win some, you lose some, you know, but I'm done with school, so that's exciting. I wanted to go real quickly into who my giveaway winner was for March. I'm sorry, this is so late, but it has been crazy. So, the winner of my giveaway is Always Smile. So, if you will email me at becca17joy@gmail.com. It is in the description down below if you do not have that. Just email me and we will talk and get set up how I should ship this to you. And yeah, congratulations on winning. On with today's video. Today I'm going to be doing the 25 bookish facts about me. Wow. 25 bookish facts about me. I saw this going around YouTube a while ago. It was a couple of months ago, but I decided I would save it for a rainy day, and surprisingly it's raining outside, but that wasn't what that phrase was supposed to mean, but whatever. So let's jump right into the video. 25 bookish facts about me. The first fact about me is that I have a book buying problem. If you haven't found that out from my hauls yet, go watch some of those, wait for some upcoming ones. I buy a lot of books. Number 2, book-to-movie adaptations don't bother me, except when they do. Most book-to-movie adaptations don't typically bother me because I feel like it's a different medium, so you have to accommodate for that kind of... It's an adaptation, it's not really, like, the story. Like, I feel like Divergent was, like, really good, and I liked The Maze Runner. I haven't read Maze Runner, but... I think for, like, going to film versions, as someone who has studied film, translating novel to film is a very hard technique to do because a lot of things don't translate onto film the same way it does when you read it. So, they don't really bother me. Except when they do, like Vampire Academy. I was so mad that they took out all of the cool stuff of Vampire Academy and literally made it a drama. The whole movie was just like a high school teenage drama, and yes, that was in the books, but that wasn't like the main point of the books, and I feel like when I read it, and I read this in high school, so it wasn't like I was all like, I'm like older now, and I'm like above the times. No, I read this when I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school when I read the first book, and then I like binge read the rest of them. So, I think aspects like that, when you leave out like the cool stuff, when you just turn it into something that it's more of not, that those kind of bother me. But most adaptations don't typically bother me. Number 3, I rarely buy new releases. I honestly couldn't tell you a book that I bought new release. I always buy them at least a couple of months afterwards to try and find them cheaper, or I always buy them used. I'm not a big fan of buying new releases because they're just so expensive, and it's like I have so many other things to read and all of that, so I typically like to wait until they are cheaper. Number 4, I will hold on to a book for much longer than I should, even if I hate it. I have a bunch of books on my shelf that I still have my Match series. Match, Cross, and Reach, which I haven't finished Reached yet. It's gonna be a stretch, but I didn't really like those books. They're not really, like, you know, there's some books that I just didn't like, but I still have them because getting rid of books is hard for me. I have unhauled books. I didn't film any of them, but I have taken books back and given them back, but it takes time. It takes time. Number 5 is piggybacking off of number 4, that I will pawn off a book to my friend just so it doesn't go away, because I know it will be at the end of her, like, TBR, like, it'll just be on her shelf for a while. She won't get to it. It will just, which actually the opposite just happened. She just gave me a bunch of books that we didn't want to get rid of, that she just didn't want on her shelf anymore. So now they're at my house, which is going to be in my haul coming up. Ooh. Number 6, I don't have another hand because I have my notebook in my hand. 6 is if I really love a character from a book or a movie or a TV show, anything like that, there will be fan fiction. I will create some character to stay in that universe for as long as physically possible. Not all of my fan fiction ends up on fanfiction.net. It didn't used to at all. I only started doing that a couple of years ago. I have a whole box. I showed you that box if you watched my writing video, of just writing. And I do fan fiction for like anything that I get invested in. There will be little short like page blurbs of just things that I'm like, oh, that could be cool if that happened. That would be cool if this interaction happened. If I really liked it, it's there, I promise. I promise I have some. Somewhere in a notebook in the depths of my room. Number 7. Most of my beloved characters are side characters, like Cormac from Seven Waters, he's one of the brothers. Adrian from the Vampire Academy series, he was one of my favorites. I can't think of any other. Xander, well, he's not really a side character, but he's a love interest, so he's not the main character. Most of the time, their side characters are the ones that I get the most attached to. So, do what you will with that. Number... let's do it this way. 8. Number 8 is that I have to have the radio on when I read because my mind races when it's quiet. I have the hardest time reading without some kind of music on in the background, because then my mind is like, oh, we could be doing this. Oh, what was that noise coming from the kitchen? Oh my god, you're gonna be murdered. Like, it's like that's how my brain functions. So the music, I have to have something going, whether it's my computer playing Pandora, the radio, or me listening to the same song on repeat for like 17 hours. It's whatever, as long as there's something going on in the background. Number 9, which is the awkward late. Okay. Number 9 is that the book that I am reading typically sleeps with me. I have a full-size bed, so half the bed doesn't get used, and that is where my book usually sleeps. Yeah. I like to cuddle with it sometimes. You know, it's just there to pat. It's there. I can, like, seep in. I don't know. That was weird. Let's just not go there. Number 10 is that I will not buy a book if it doesn't look good. If it has some kind of, like, blemish on it, like used books, if it has, like, a scratch on the front, if some of the pages are bent, most of the time, I won't buy it. I'm like, I'll just wait and buy a better copy later. I like for my books to look nice. If things get, like, bent and stuff, my brain is like, this is wrong. So, there's that. Number 11 is if it says vampire or werewolf on it, anywhere on the cover, in the description, anything that I read online about it, most of the time, since I was in high school, I will put it back. End of story. I won't read anything about it. I don't want to know. It's got the most awesome plot ever. I don't have any desire to read werewolf or vampire stuff anymore. I think it is so overdone, and there are so many things. There has to be a super special story, which I do. For fiction, I did buy a collection of vampire stories from it's like an anthology of like classic tales of vampires and stuff. So that sounded kind of cool. But like fiction stories where the main guy is like, I'm a werewolf. Like, no, don't talk to me. I don't want it. Number 12 kind of goes back to number 10, which is about the dust jackets. Kill me. If it doesn't have a dust jacket, if the dust jacket is messed up in any way, it will not get bought at all. Ever. It has to be pristine, cover-wise, or I won't buy it. Number 13 is I never buy books from marketplaces. Marketplaces? That's not the right term. From bookstores like Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. Those are the only two that are around here. But unless it is from the bargain section. If it is on the bargain section, Books A Million is the only one that I ever go to check the bargain section. If I fell over my outlet that's back here. I won't buy it. I don't like buying books for $17.99. I just don't. I can't do it. It's just, I never buy books at full price. Ever. Number 14 is that I separate my hardback from my paperbacks. I should do a bookshelf tour sometime, but my big bookshelf over here is hardbacks, and my 3 little bookshelves over here are paperbacks, and then my overflow shelf, the top shelf is paperback, the bottom shelf is hardback for relative sections. So, there you go. I like that most like hardbacks and paperbacks are typically around the same height as opposed to like a paperback that's like this big and then like a hardback that's like this big. I can't handle the stacking. I can't handle it at all. It kills me. Number 15 is that if I really like a book and it's in paperback, I will go and buy it in hardback even if I've already read it. I will pick it up. I will go buy it off of Amazon or eBay, or if I find it in a used bookstore, I don't know what I was about to say, but a used bookstore, I will buy it in hardback. I just did. Actually, I just bought Graceling in hardback because I wanted it in hardback because I loved it so much. So, if it's an book, it'll probably stay in paperback. If it's a, oh my gosh, I need to read this like 17 times, it is going to be in hardback. I'm going to buy a hardback copy. Number 16, I pick what I read based off my mood. I said this in my Let's Be Honest video. I don't do TBRs. I will literally finish a book and be like, alright, what am I going to read next? And I'll look through my books and it will take me hours to decide what I'm going to read next. Unless it's a series. If it's a series and I have the next one, typically I will read the next series, the next book in the series, because I want to know what's going to happen. But aside from that, I will usually be like, oh, let's see. Let's spend 2 hours of my time that I could be spending reading, just picking up something, searching for the perfect book to read next. That's one of my problems. Number 17 is that I will more than likely buy a hardback than a paperback. A lot of the times when I go to the bookstore, I will look over paperbacks. When I go to the one in Johnson City, my used bookstore that I talk about all the time, I will literally overlook paperback books because I'm just scanning for the hardbacks and the titles and all of that. My friend that always goes with me, she's the one who is like, did you see this cool book? And she pulls it out and it's paperback, and I'm like, no, I didn't, because I skip over paperbacks, and it's something that I'm working on. I don't need to skip over books just because they're one format or the other, but that's a problem, so something that I do every time I go out. Every time. Number 18 is if a series has more than 3 books already published, the odds of me buying it go down by every book. So, series that have like 7 or 8 books, I'm like, no, check me out. I don't have time for that. Unless it is a series that I am just super, super wanting to read. Like, super, super wanting to read. Most of the time, I'm just like, I don't have the capacity to buy these 8 books in this series, and it stresses me out. So, there's that. 19 is that I love retellings. I love retellings of all kinds. I actually haven't read the Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress and Winter series, which I know is a good retelling, but I love retellings. The King Arthur retelling that I have is fantastic. I bought a Where the Wild Things Are retelling, and I'm super excited about it. I love anything about retellings. It just seems like so much fun to have a retelling. Like, can you just even? Retellings are gonna be awesome. Number 20 is that a book with a twist or a twisted plot are my jam. Things like serial killers, yes, kidnappings, bring it on. I love the stress. I love the being like, oh my god, are they gonna live? Are they gonna die? What is happening? Why are they doing this? Like, I love, like, psychological thrillers, and I don't read a lot of those. I need some more. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because the more twisted it is, the more I'm probably going to like it. That's a thing that happens with me, guys. I don't know why. It just is. Number 21 is that if I am reading a book and I get super stressed, besides the psychological thrillers, even then, sometimes this happens, I will put the book down and pace around my house until I am unstressed enough to sit back down and be like, okay, I can do this, and then get a little bit further and get even more stressed out and have to repeat the process until I get through the stress situation. It's just something that I have to do. If I get super stressed, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go pace around my kitchen and be like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Are they gonna die? Are they gonna live? Why did they do that? I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I have to work it out, to de-stress myself, and then come back and get more stressed. Number 22, my tolerance for love triangles is very low. Very, very low. If it is not a well done love triangle, I don't want it. Don't give it to me. I will not like it. Like, I've said this before, but the love triangle in Matched drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. I can't stand the trope of, I love my best friend, I love him so much, then this new mysterious guy comes in and she's just like, oh, screw you, I like him now. And like floats away into the distance. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. I can't. Love triangles kill me unless they are done really, really well. So, yeah. Number 23. Most of the books that I buy for school I don't read. I had a drama class this semester. I think I had to buy like 12 plays. I didn't read a single one of them. None of them. At all. I may have read like, when we were in class, she was like, turn to this page and we'll read this little bit of this scene. That was it. I spent the money. I had the books. I don't read them. Don't like them. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it stresses me out. I don't know if it's just because I'm like, oh, this is for school, so I don't want to do this. Like protesting. Like my little bit of rebellion that I have sometimes. Like just like little things that are like, I'm not going to do that. So whatever. But I don't read school books. I haven't like my entire life. I can get through anything like that. It's whatever. Number 24 is that I buy books based off character names. If it is one of my characters in my writing, if it is a character that I do with my RP, with my best friend, if it has their name, I will buy it. I bought like 3 books just because the girl's name is Emma. Because that's one of my RP characters. Her name is Emma. And I was like, that's cool. I bought another book because the love interest's name is Jack, and that's one of my RP characters. Husband now. Boyfriend, husband, whatever. Depends on where you are in their timeline. But it's... I'm like, I associate and I project and I'm like, I want that now. I'm gonna read that because it has that specific character name in it. Don't know why. I just do. And lastly, number 25. I hope I did 25. I don't know. We'll see. 20, 24, 25-ish, 20, 25-ish, is that I don't buy ebooks. I have to have a physical copy. I have only ever bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 books for my own use, and 2 ebooks for school. But one of them is the novellas for the Sanctum series, the Shadow Guards series she had. So the only way I could get it was through ebook. I have another novella series for another series that I have that had a short story that went with it, so I bought it. And then I bought The Assassin's Curse by Cassandra Rose Clark. Was it Cassandra Clare? It's Cassandra Rose Clark. And that was only because it had gone out of print, and that was the only copy of it that I could buy at the time, and I really, really wanted to read it, and I started reading it, and it was so hard for me to get through it. And I actually have a physical copy now because it came back out into print, and so I bought the physical copy instead. Ebooks are hard for me to read because they make me tired. They say it's the opposite, that when you stare into a machine, like this close to your face, that it makes you, like, keeps you awake, it stimulates your brain. It makes me tired. If I am sitting at my computer and I stare at it for too long, I want to go take a nap. I'm done. I'm just going to go lay down and sleep, and it makes me tired. So, physical copies are my favorite thing. I love smelling books. I love holding books. I love the feel of books. I love having a book in my hand. The physical, like, ooh, copy. So, there's that. So, that is all I have for you guys today. That is the 25-ish bookish facts about me. And I will see you guys when I upload my next video. Bye!